Welcome everybody to another round of World of Tanks subscriber replays. My name as always is Maxwell, and today's first video was from the user Iron Blood. That's Iron Blood, and he's driving the STA-1 on an encounter battle on Muravanka. STA-1 being a Japanese tier 8 medium tank. So Iron Blood straight away going to be heading to this northern area. Not really sure what's going on with his reticule there. Going to be heading to this northern left-hand flank here to the A, B and C 1 section. In my opinion, the guys who spawn up in the north get a significant advantage on this left-hand flank just with the ability to be in this A, B and C location. They are able to take fantastically powerful spots to overlook almost the entire flank, which is why you tend to see a lot of northern teams just dominating this flank. So it looks like the enemy team is putting someone in the cap circle early here. Not really sure who that is. See, there's a Type 59 over on the hill. Looks like it's an ELC AMX. So it looks like he's just rushed for the cap circle for some reason. Iron Blood just ignoring him here. Somebody else will take him out, which indeed they do. That Comet gets a shot on him and takes him out. And he's just focusing instead on this Type 59, which is a much larger threat. The longer he persists in battle, you see he lands 2 good hits onto that Type 59 there, and the Type 59 is able to back off and just fade back into the fog of war. And as you can see there was nowhere really for that Type 59 to take cover from the guys firing down upon him. I mean, he could have gone in that little valley there, but the amount that he would have had to go back behind the sort of the hill there would allow the guys in the forest over there to be able to fire at him. So really, there was no safe place for him to go. And all he could do is really back off all the way back south there and take cover behind the terrain and use people's view distances. But having said all this, with the guys on the north usually dominating this flank, what tends to happen is they concentrate too many forces on this flank because they know they're going to get an easier fight out of it, and then what that does is it allows the southern team to dominate the magical forest on the right hand side, not because they get any innate sort of advantage from that, but just because they tend to concentrate more vehicles and more tanks down there. You see an allied T-34 making his way into the cap circle now. Probably doesn't think he's going to be able to get the capture off here. It looks like Iron Blood may be AFK or doing something else as he's just, there we go, finally wakes up, realises that there's an E8, and indeed takes out the E8, but it looks like the T-34, indeed himself, have been spotted here. Wants to have one shot at that Tiger 2 before he drops back there. But that T-34, putting himself in that cap circle there, what that does is it kind of just puts a clock and puts a timer on the battle that if the enemy team doesn't at least push down this flank and try and do something about him, this game is going to be over in 2.5 minutes. You've got to notice as well that the enemy team has 3 artillery pieces, so they are probably going to have a pretty good guess. There we go. Gets a shot, a blind shot on the T-34 there, so they were just... Oh, maybe the Type 59 spotted him out earlier. Not too sure about that one. Gets another good shot on that Tiger 2 there. Unfortunately, that one just bounces. But again, that Tiger 2's got no cover. All he's got to do is just try and rely on his armor. And with the amount of guns focused on him, I don't think his armor's going to be enough to protect him for long. As you can see, down to 300 hit points. Iron Blood going to be focusing on that lower plate now. Unfortunately, that one bounces as well, but the Tiger 2 down to 31 hit points. Looks like, ooh, very lucky there, bouncing and missing all the rest of the shots, and that Tiger 2 is able just to get behind the hill there with his 31 hit points, running off with his tail tucked thoroughly between his legs. And that T-34 is continuing his cap now. Moves forward onto the spot where the artillery fired last, because you find artillery doesn't tend to shoot in the same place twice. But as we were talking about earlier, you can see that the enemy team has overrun the allies in that right-hand flank there. Type 59 comes around the corner a little bit. Iron Blood gets a hit on the side of his turret there, but with the way that the Type 59's turret is designed, that one just not penetrating the armor there, as the Type 59 tends to be a bit of a bouncy beast. But like I was saying, you can see that the enemy team has completely overrun the allies on that right-hand flank in the forest there. Got a good chunk of tanks waiting over there. Actually winning this one out, 7 kills to 5 at the moment. So Ironblood going to pop himself up on this hill in an effort to try and spot some of them coming in. They do have an M6 heavy tank here waiting around as well. Spots out the E25 on the left-hand side. Not really sure who the E25 is looking at because he hasn't fired yet. We know for a fact he's got a ridiculously quick reload, so indeed he just sits there, gets himself taken out. Actually, it looks like Ironblood may have remained hidden through all that somehow, so pretty lucky from him. Has a shot at that lurver as well, who's in the city there. Well, not really a city, more like a village. But as you can see, he's trying to come up along the road in an effort to try and get a hit on this T-34, who is still in the cap circle, and that one is down under a minute now. So definitely someone's going to have to come in there and do something about that. Because if they're not careful, that T-34 is going to cap this one out, and that's going to be GG and game over. Allied team doing a fantastic job of evening this one up. Just as I say that, they lose a little bit, but it looks like somebody gets a reset there on the T-34, probably the artillery piece. So it looks like somebody spotted out that T-34, and the enemy artillery was able just to decap that one with about 30 or 40 seconds left on the clock. It looks like just leaving himself in there, because again, it's always good to have that timer running, just so that the enemy can't sit back and camp it out. Ironblood trying to get a shot on that lurver here, but it looks like he's just hidden behind the buildings well enough. And he's just going to sit in these bushes here and just spot out whoever he can. There's still a Tiger P and an Indian Panzer over in that forest there. We haven't seen either of those yet. You've got to be worried about this Indian Panzer. It's a good shot on that lurver to take him out and pick up kill number 3. Gonna try and get a shot. Could possibly put one through the top of the turret, but nope. Just misses that one on the Tiger 2, which is a little bit unfortunate, but it looks like the artillery is able to finish him off. And this Tiger P appears. And the Tiger P takes out their last remaining artillery piece. And the Tiger P making a beeline for this M6 here, and that's just going to allow Ironblood to put shots through his side armor. Tiger P looks like he is focusing on that M6 here. And M6 is just going to run around and try and lead the Tiger P on a merry chase as Ironblood just puts damage after damage through his side armor. Artillery shells landing, but not particularly close. Ironblood just going to remain on top of the hill here. He's going to have to make a move at some point. Looks like he's going to go right, but just as he goes to go right, the M6 moves into the same direction. If Ironblood had carried on along that route, the Tiger P would have straightened up and been front armor facing that direction by then. So not quite making a move just yet. Tiger P decides he's had enough of it, comes around the corner, takes out the M6. Ironblood gets another beautiful shot on him, and he knows he's going to have the reload speed to be able to just come around at his leisurely pace and take out the Tiger P, and that is kill number 4. Now, but he's got to keep moving here. So 3 artillery pieces still on the enemy team, and he knows that at least one of them is focused on this location, as they did fire at him earlier and get a hit on that M6. So he just puts himself behind the building so that nothing was able to hit him. The Rheinmetall's starting to make a move now, and that's just because the T-29 and T-32 are both in that cap circle now. So that one's going to make it a lot quicker. Only a minute on the clock now, even after one of them has just been reset. Still not sure where that Indian Panzer is. I'm a little bit surprised he hasn't been playing more of a role in this battle. There he is, appears on the road there, and he's only got 47 hit points, which is probably why he hasn't been playing a bigger role. Comes in at the end here to try and make a difference in the cap circle. Unfortunately, isn't able to play any kind of role whatsoever, as he just gets himself taken out by Ironblood, who has a snapshot on the move at that Rheinmetall, but just hitting the dirt, which I'm not surprised, because you can only see a few inches of the gun shield over the top of that hill. Now he's going to flank all the way around the side of this Rheinmetall and going to try and take him by surprise while he's focusing on this T-29. Looks like he may have got a reset on the T-29. The T-29 actually got some damage on the Rheinmetall. Rheinmetall's charging in for this one, but he gets himself taken out. Ironblood's got to play it carefully now because he has been spotted. And he's got to be prepared for that those artillery shells to come in. You can see he's just weaving from side to side here. And it looks like he may have gotten away with this one. Just runs down a tree, so he's got to be a little bit careful. And now it is a case of hunting down the artillery. telling the T29 to get in the cap circle. Finds the Lorraine 50. Lorraine 50 fires his shot way too early and misses that one, and that's going to be curtains for him. Another artillery shell lands, but Ironblood's just able to dodge out of that one. And again, like I said, just getting that T29 to get in the cap circle, just in case everything goes horribly wrong for Ironblood here, then at least they're going to have the T29 in there with a decent amount of built-up capture points. Gets spotted out here. The 6th sense goes off, so the Hummel and the Birch gun possibly both in this location. If they are both here, this is going to be a little bit difficult as they can cover each other's backs. So just going to play it careful. Oh, somebody's had a shot, which means somebody's not in this area, or else he probably would have been spotted out. So there is an artillery piece around here not firing. Going to see who it is. It's the Hummel with his excellent camouflage here. He takes a shot on the side. Obviously not a penetrating hit, as it only did a couple, about 300 points of damage there. A lot of that getting eaten up by the track, and Ironblood's able to take him out and pick up kill number 8. Another artillery shell lands, and Ironblood's going to be on the hunt for this Birch gun. He's not in this location. He's probably going to be over next to the spawn location, which indeed he is. Finds him out here, but he's protected by trusty rock there in the middle of the field. Going to try and get a shot on his gun shield. He just fades back into the fog of war, and that shot misses. Got to play this one carefully though, because if he doesn't, this Birch gun could probably go and commit suicide, take the coward's way out, and we're going to find out right now if he's that kind of artillery player or not. Ironblood deciding just to charge him down. It looks like he's not that kind of artillery player, and he looks like he's going to want to try and fight this one out. But to be honest, I just don't think he's going to have the alpha damage. Has his shot and misses. Ironblood can take his time, which he does. Takes him out and picks up kill number 9 and almost 4,000 points of damage. It's absolutely awesome game there from Ironblood. Thank you very much for sending that one in. Don't forget to stick around, because as always, the score screens and another game are coming right up. And our second replay of the day is from the user Bitch Slap. That's Bitch Slap, and he's driving the ST1 on an encounter battle on Redshire. ST1 being a tier 9 heavy tank for the Russians. This thing is a bit of a beast, has fantastic armor, decent hit point pool, actually gets a very, very good cannon considering the Russian lineage of cannons. This one is pretty accurate over distance, and has good penetration, good alpha damage, and it's just the accuracy really that sets it apart from many other Russian guns. So Bitch Slap going to be heading all the way over to the right hand flank here. Going to be taking up position with the other heavy tanks. Unfortunately, the rest of the heavy tanks that seem to be here are tier 7 so far. Got that IS, that Tiger 1, the artillery. There we go, some of that. Nope, there's also an IS, a KV3 and an IS-6. So most of the lower tiers, as you see, this one goes from tier 9 to tier 7. So most of the tier 7 is going to be heading over to this flank with Bitch Slap. So this thing could turn into an absolute bloodbath depending on who they meet. Finds the enemy's E75. Personally, I'd rate an E75 above an ST1 any day of the week. But that's just because I've driven the E75 quite a lot and know its strengths and weaknesses. But it looks like this E75 is just going to be caught out in the open there. Takes a big chunk of damage from Bitch Slap and just decides that he's going to have to back off now, because he doesn't want to take any more of that free damage. Looks like a few other tanks pushing up here. You've got the VK-30-02, is that? Is indeed in the KV-3 up on that hill. Bitch Slap setting himself up in a side scraping position. Side armor of the ST1 is pretty damn fantastic. It has the same characteristics as that IS-4 in that regard. Its side armor is pretty damn strong. So the rest of his allies dropping back a little bit. This E75 coming out and presenting all of his side armor. Unfortunately, Bitch Slap not able to capitalize on that as his shot just lands in the dirt. Luckily, he is able to angle his armor just in time and turn the shot aside from the E75. And I think Bitch Slap's getting a little bit restless now, so he decides to push forward. He's going to do something about this 330-02D. Got to wait for his turret to traverse on target, which indeed he does. Took a little bit of damage in return getting around here, but he was able to, number one, take out that 30-02, and now he's able to push the enemy team back ever so slightly. Finds that there's also a Black Prince in this location, but again, Black Prince not really going to worry an ST1. Unfortunately, just hits the front plate of that E75 at a very, very steep angle there, so that one unfortunately bounced. Kind of got the enemy team corralled in one location here, apart from this Black Prince, who is making a move to try and get on top of that hill here. Bitch Slap going to try and get some shots on him, but it looks like the Black Prince is hidden nicely behind that rock there, and not able to get any kind of shots on him, which is a little bit strange, because the Black Prince, normally not the easiest tank in the world to hide. Not really sure what this E75 is doing. Poking himself out way out in the open at an absolutely horrendous angle here, presenting all of his side armor to all of the tanks. Bitch Slap just comes in. He's able to track the E75 and then ram him for the kill. He's just got to pay attention to this KV-3 here now, waiting for his gun to reload. It's a good shot through the front of him here. He's got to be careful though, because he's at a bit of a terrible angle, and this Black Prince is just damaging him over and over again. So Bitch Slap gonna have a shot at him here just to try and dissuade him from having any more goes at it. But Bitch Slap's actually able to take him out and pick up kill number 3, and that just leaves this KV-3 now. He's kind of caught out in the middle of the open. He doesn't really know what he's gonna do. He can't really back off anywhere, and the Allies just able to finish him off. And that is the battle for the right-hand flank won now, although Bitch Slap takes a big hit from the enemy artillery. Game's fairly even with the stomp that did happen on this right-hand flank here. It's 4 kills to 5. Enemy team actually winning this one ever so slightly, but that's just because they've concentrated way more forces on that cap circle. You can see they've got a couple of guys in the village there, and most of their team are sort of hanging around that cap circle area. Bitch Slap going to be coming around here just to see if we can have a look at the far southern flanks. Normally you get some tank destroyers camping over in that direction somewhere, or you may indeed get the artillery parked up there. As it is, he finds the Tiger 2 in the village here. One nice shot through his sidearm is able to take him out, and he's going to have to move on now, as with only 320 hit points, he's going to prove to be a very juicy target for the enemy artillery. Finds his counterpart, the other ST1 here, dueling with a T32 at the moment, but it looks like the enemy ST1 may be outclassed a little bit here. She's got that T54 and that Rheinmetall for support. Not really sure if they can bring their guns to bear, as they are in and around that cap circle there. Deciding to switch targets to that Type 61. Rushes his shot just a little bit as that Type 61 was moving behind the building, and that one just unfortunately misses. Type 61 reverses away now. And Bitch Slap just unfortunately not able to get any kind of shot on him just yet. Enemy team does have a couple of tanks in the cap circle now, so someone's going to have to make a move and try and decap that, but everybody is a decent distance away, as you can see. Actually looks like they were finally able to take up that Type 61, but there's still 2 guys left in that cap circle, and if they can get themselves into cover, this one may prove risky for the Allies, but it looks like they are trying to battle this one out. Bitch Slap's able to take out that IS. If he just stayed down in the lull of the hill there, he probably would have been fine. Bitch Slap takes a shot from that T28 prototype, which takes out his track, returns fire, but it looks like the prototype is hiding behind the corpse of that IS that was killed earlier. Still at least 2 tanks in that cap circle. He's got a lovely shot on the side of the T28's turret there. Gets a good chunk of damage through him there. And again, there's still 2 of them in that cap circle. T28 straightens himself up, but it's not quite enough, and Bitch Slap just sails right through his armor with another shot and picks up kill number 8. So he's taken shots from the right-hand side there. And this game is now all square at 11 kills to 11. But to be honest, I'd give this one to the enemy team at the moment. They've got the bigger guns left. Bitch Slap just reversing behind a hay bale there, not able to pick out his target. Panther 2 is able to take out the 110 just as Bitch Slap fires as well. And he's still taking hits from that right-hand side from something. I'm not really sure what's there. It's probably going to be that T25-2. And there is probably still that Rheinmetall in and around the cap circle. That's probably who is capping here. And to be honest, with who's left, the IS, the Panther 2, and the ST1 of Bitch Slap, it's going to be up to the ST1 to get in that cap circle. He's in no rush at the moment, though. He's got just over 2.5 minutes on the clock. Panther 2 going to be staying hidden in these buildings. IS is creeping up on the cap circle, but he's got even less armor than the ST1 and even less hit points. So really it is going to be on the ST1 to get in this cap circle and find the Rheinmetall. Panther 2 can't really move out as that T25-2 is in the area. He gets spotted out now, has another shot at the side of the ST1 of Bitch Slap here, but isn't able to get any damage. If he doesn't move soon, he's going to be in trouble. The T25-2 changed his target to the IS, wasn't able to damage him either. Bitch Slap's able to take him out and pick up kill number 9. That Panther 2 is now going to be totally free to move up with that T25-2 being taken out, and this Rheinmetall's going to get closed in on from both sides now. From the front from that Panther 2 and from the side from the IS and the ST1 of Bitch Slap. And the three of them all just going to close the net down around this Rheinmetall here, who is at the moment totally focused on this Panther 2. And as well he should be, as he gets himself taken out by that Panther 2. Looks like the Super Pershing is just behind the hill here. Bitch Slap just trying to decide whether to go and try and take him out or go for the cap here. I think they've all decided at the same time that it's probably best to take out the Super Pershing. Can Bitch Slap get the kill for the Pools medal? Yes, he can. So absolutely awesome bit of play there from Bitch Slap in his ST1, picking up a monster 10 kills and 3,200 points of damage. So absolutely awesome replay from you. Thank you very much for sending that one in. Don't forget, guys, if you've got yourself a great replay, then please send that to replay@screenreality.com. Link for that is in the description. If you enjoyed this video, found it entertaining, useful, informative, and maybe you learned something, then definitely consider hitting that subscribe button, because I've got a lot more World of Tanks content on this channel. So thank you very much for watching, everybody. I have been Maxwell, this has been World of Tanks, and I will catch you guys next time.